Find the sum of the series S equals 2 plus 6 plus 18 plus 54 plus 162 plus 486. First, let's take a look at what's happening in this series. We've got the first term, and we're multiplying that by 3 to get the next term. So 2 times 3 is 6. And multiplying 6 times 3 to get 18. 18 times 3 is 54, and so on. So I'll use the letter that a lot of textbooks use. It's pretty standard when you're talking about a geometric series or sequence. Geometric meaning we're multiplying by something as opposed to adding a certain number. We're multiplying by 3 every time, and then we add up all of those terms. That's what makes it a series, is that we are taking the sum of all of this. So a little trick to find this sum of these numbers, certainly we could just plug that into a calculator, but that's because it only has 6 terms, and I gave them to you all. I gave all of these terms to you, but what if we didn't know the middle terms? Well, this trick would work just the same. What if we went and said the opposite of this ratio, that is, the ratio is 3, we're multiplying by 3 every time. What if I said the opposite of that? So negative 3s. If the ratio is negative, by the way, you would say the opposite of that. But here we have the opposite of the ratio, negative 3s, and then we have equals. Well, what does that equal? We're going to multiply everything by negative 3. So 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. And 18 times negative 3 is negative 54. And 54 times negative 3 is negative 162. And 162 times negative 3 is negative 486. And 486, don't stop here, we still have to multiply this last term. 486 multiplied by negative 3 is negative 1,458. And now look at what happens. If we were to add these two equations, we would get 1s plus negative 3s is negative 2s. We would get the 2 plus 6 and negative 6, that's 0. 18 and negative 18, 0. 54 and negative 54, 162 and negative 162, 486 and negative 486, and then we still have this negative 1,458. So 2 minus 1,458. So that's always going to work, actually. It's going to be that first term, and then multiplied by whatever your multiplier is here, times the last term. So in this case, negative 1,458. So 2s, negative 2s, equals 2 minus, so we have a negative 1,456. Now all we have to do is divide each side by the coefficient, by negative 2, and in the end you get this series. The sum is equal to 728. 728. That's kind of a little trick. There are other formulas, definitely, that we'll talk about with another video.